Hi everybody, welcome back to Project Kids PC. Project Kids PC Dad here, and today we're going to talk about Safer Internet Day. Oops, Safer Internet Day. So today is Tuesday the 11th of February, which marks Safer Internet Day, and there is a website I just want to show you guys about. So the UK has its own Safer Internet Centre, and on this site there's lots of different tools. So they have quiz, young people's charter, they've, so lots of different resources available on this website. They have stuff here for educators, parents or carers, a list of different films, um, just taken across different sort of age groups. The one thing I want to bring your attention to is the tips that they have on their website. The categories that they have are for between 3 and 7 year olds, 7 and 11 year olds, and 11 and 18 year olds. But they also do have top tips for parents and carers. The whole purpose of this channel is to help promote confidence in parents being able to enable their children with technology, but whilst keeping them safe doing so. It's very, very important to me that I keep my daughter safe on the internet. She still has access to play on an Xbox. She's still able to come onto the PC and use the internet for homework, but everything is heavily monitored. Her PC use not as much. Um, that's through my lessons. She's been um, practicing safe internet use, and whenever she's on the Xbox, I have it set up so it's removed the sort of social features. So there's no chat, there's no voice chat, there's no text chat. There's nothing like that at all. And as you've noticed, even on the YouTube channel, we've made sure that we set it for children, so that there's no comments. So this page itself, if we just look at top tips for parents and carers, um, so they believe that in a mission of creating the internet where we are free to talk, talk regularly with your child about how they use technology, find out how they like to represent and express themselves online, and how being online makes them feel. Listen to your child. They'll give you the best possible idea of how you can support them. If you're not sure where to begin, you can have a look at our conversation starters for parents and carers. And you know what? Let's open that in the new tab, and we'll look at that in a moment. Feel free to explore differences. Internet's a place where there's lots of different people can communicate and come together. For some children, first place they see people who are different to them may be online. For others, the internet may be one place where they can find people similar to them, acknowledge different types of identities your child may see online, use these to spark discussions around diversity. Talk to your child about being respectful to everyone online. Um, what to do if they feel their own identity is being targeted. Now, this is why I've removed the social aspect from my daughter's um, exposure to the internet. You know, she's only 7, so the thing is, it really depends on the age of your child here and what sort of technologies they have. I say internet, but that's not limited to if they have a mobile phone and they use for the likes of WhatsApp, or a really popular one with the kids these days is the TikTok application. So, you really need to sort of understand what your child's exposure is. Um, but whenever it talks about looking at differences, I use for the likes of Google Maps to teach my daughter about different countries. And then we'll look at the countries in detail. What sort of money do they use? What sort of food do they eat? We'll look at pictures. We go to Google Street View and have a look around. We accidentally were in Iceland one day and we were going through Street View and we clicked a bit too far forward and all of a sudden we ended up in somebody's hotel room, going back and forth through the hotel. Absolutely hilarious. Um, so feel free to make the internet work for your family. There's lots of different methods of controls that you can place. Um, so with Microsoft, you can create a child account and restrict what sort of programs or application features they have. There's certain browsers that you can have add-ons specifically for children. Um, for the likes of even watching YouTube, there's a YouTube Kids feature where you can set it for a specific age range. Um, if you have a phone, the one thing I really like on a phone is there's a Family Link app for Android phones, and on the Family Link app, you can add all your children on. You can just get it up here. You can toggle the settings on their phone so their GPS is always on. You always know where the phone is at all times. You can see the activity, how long have they been on a certain application for. You can set limits for those applications. You can set limits for the phone itself, so they can only be on the phone for 2 or 3 hours a day, and it locks itself. Um, you have the ability to unlock it, so it's not permanently locked or anything. You can set up bedtime routines and schedules so that if you've got a child they like to take it to bed. Um, you can see any applications that they've installed. Um, so you know, technology is endless. Those applications are there to enable you as a parent, um, to help make your family safe. Feel free to get involved. As parents and carers, it's natural to feel worried about the risks posed by your child being online. Um, the idea is, though, the internet has such a vast wealth of knowledge. My own personal opinion is that it would be neglect if I were to not let my child have exposure. Um, being able to do our homework, being able to get a vast amount of resources that the internet offers. The thing that worries people the most is the fear of the unknown. And you see a lot of news stories, you see a lot of articles, forum posts about how to keep your child away from a computer, keep them away from video games, keep them away from the internet. The problem is that there's a lot of parents out there that don't necessarily have a great understanding of how it all works. The best thing for you to do is for you to get involved, for you to start using the internet a lot more. For if your children need something, sit with them, go through it. I remember a time whenever I was young, and my dad and my uncle didn't know how to use a computer, and they watched me playing games online, and it just took off from there. I showed them bit by bit, and now they're both very competent. So, but if you are really stuck, um, and their last point here is to feel free to seek help and support. There are plenty of places out there. There are plenty of websites out there for parents that give lots of different tips or help. I've seen lots of different Facebook groups there for supporting parents. There's a range of different YouTube videos set up by other people. Here in the UK, a lot of schools do online safety stuff. I know that my daughter has in her school, they often do classes for parents to help them out. So there is a wealth of support, and uh, if you ever feel like there maybe is something that you need help with, feel free to drop by our Facebook page and leave a message. And if there's something you're not sure about, I'll try and get back to you and give you some help or advice. So here we have the resources of the page, how parents can talk to children about their online lives. So I'll give you some good talking points. And just to go back here to the conversation starters, um, there's lots of different things about you know keeping the conversation positive. Um, Talk about what sort of things that you can share. So if you noticed that to make sure that I'm showing you and we're leading by example, we have mentioned no names on our YouTube channel or our Facebook page there. So my daughter will never have her name attached to this. Maybe when she's a wee bit older, she wants to claim her name to fame. But not at the moment. She's 7 years old. It's not going to happen. Um, but you know, depending on the age of your child, you may want to talk to them about, removing identities. A really big, um, a really big thing is around Xbox and PlayStations, where children will set up an account and on the Xbox or PlayStation or the Switch, it'll have their own name, and then they go start to play online, and people will see that name there. I would discourage from doing that, just for the safety of your child. Like there's a lot of features out there, like I said, where you can move the social aspect of it. But if you want to do things right, get your child to come up with a very cool, creative name. Um, so like one that my daughter uses online is Captain Rose. Has nothing really to do with her name. So there's no identifiables there, and she thinks the name's super cool. Um, so that really concludes that part there. But there's something here for the kids as well. Um, so if we look at 7 to 11's range, 'cause that's the one that sort of appeals to myself. Uh, it talks about let's create an internet where we are free to be creative. Internet's a great place to experiment and how to represent yourself, whether that's using filters or emojis or giving your avatars wings or green hair in a game. Remember to have fun and use the internet to release your inner creativity. And that's the thing with a lot of those applications nowadays. They come with all these additional features to help your child express themselves. And I think that's very, very important. Feel free to be different. The internet allows us to find out more of things we like or relate to, but it's also a place where we can learn about people who are different to us. The internet can be a great place to express the things that make you special or unique. Let's celebrate that fact, and so many different people are using it. You know, Sometimes it's good just for if your child does like expressing themselves or they like finding out about older cultures, you can create a blog. Let them create a blog where they can write up about their life and what it's like in their lives and try and find out similar stories from people around the world. And that's the sort of thing about the internet. It's connectivity and it's reach. It's not something we would have been able to do as children. Um, as children, you may have had a pen pal, um, sort of the same thing, but it took a long time for someone to write you back. That's not the case anymore. The technology has moved on, and we need to adapt as people. Uh, Free to feel safe. Always keep your personal information safe online. There's a lot of ways you can express yourself without giving us away. Remember that other people online may not always be who they appear to be. So be sure to check with an adult if you're ever unsure about what to do or who you're chatting with online. That's one of the most important conversations that you could have with your child. Is to if there's anything that they're doing online, especially if they have any contact with anybody, talk to an adult. This age range that we're looking at, 7 to 11, that is at the age where, they're still open and honest. They're not going to be secretive about what they're doing. You know, Obviously you want to give your child some independence, but at the same time, you need to make sure that you start them off on the internet on the right footing and they get the right behaviors. Feel free to respect. If someone is treating you or your friends unkindly online, or not respecting you for who you are, you can use block and report buttons to take positive action to stop it. Report buttons, social media outlets have them, online gamings have them as well. So there's no, you know, there's no excuse for repeated abuse towards your child online. If you're monitoring their activity and you see something that you don't like, maybe someone sent them a message on a PlayStation or an Xbox, block them. It's the best way. Just be sure to check what you're doing first because it could just be some sort of friendly banter or fun between friends. But if it's someone that your child doesn't actually know, um, instead of them getting into a behavior where they think it's okay to be mean online or it's okay for someone to be mean to them online, I would nip that in the bud straight away and block that user. And again, feel free to ask for help. Your child should feel um, they should know and understand that they should be asking for help anytime something maybe that they're unsure about something online. If there's something that makes them feel worried or anxious, it's really important for them to talk to um, not even just a parent, to talk to an adult. So whether you are a parent or you are a carer of children, um, that remains very, very important. Your role. Looking at the younger sort of age range, you know, it is sort of the same thing, but it's more um sort of dulled down, related to freedom of play and again expression. Um, don't expect your 3-year-old to be coming onto this website and to be reading this top tip. But again, it's for you. It's talking points. 11 to 18. That's we all know what sort of differences can happen in these age range. You know, they're becoming young adults. This is at the time where they are going to keep a lot of secrets from their parents. They're not going to feel free about sharing a lot of things, and they want to explore. And the internet is, you know, it is the place for them to do this. It's really important for us as parents, um, at least to take interest in our children's lives, online and offline. It doesn't mean that you need to be checking their messages every day. It doesn't mean that you need to be, you know, added to their social media. There will have to be some certain boundaries set up, but you do need to trust your child. It's a really most important thing. You need to trust them. As long as, you know, from the beginning and their use of the internet, that that you're giving them the help and support, they're always going to come back to you for help and support. And if it's something that you feel that you can't provide or you struggle to provide, that's okay. That's absolutely fine. It's not, um, no one ever asked you whenever you were having a child about your ability with technology. It's not a prerequisite of you having a child. Ask for help. Just like we would ask the kids to do, ask the help. So that's really it for today, guys. I just wanted to get this post uh, up for today because it is Safer Internet Day. Um, alongside the videos that my daughter will be posting over the next couple of weeks. Um, I will try and make a couple like these, um, but more instructional videos. So how to set up a children's account on Microsoft, doing the same thing with Google, so that you can then install that Family Link app. If you've gone this far, thank you very much for taking the time to listen, um, because this is a very very important thing for us all here. And again, I just want to reiterate that that part of reaching out for help, we have a Facebook group, and it's at Project Kids PC. Please feel free to send us a message, if you are stuck for something, whether it's help or advice, about practicing online safety with your children or talking to them about it, whether it is checking functions or features that you can enable or disable, um, or if you have anything that you would like us to investigate or maybe show you how to set up, for your kids, head on over to the Facebook page, and we'll leave the link in the description there for you to make it easy. Just send us a message and we'll do our best to get back to you. Thanks again for watching. Peace out from Project Kids PC.
Don't forget to like my video and subscribe.